Hi guys, welcome to Marnie's TV Zealots. My name is Denise and my partner in crime is Mary. Y'all, we watched 911 on Fox and yes. Well, I just want to say I came here for Angela Bassett.
Amen.
And I didn't even know we was gonna get some Aisha Hines on this here thing. I was like, yes. Anyway, Mary, say hi.
Hi, so glad you guys are here with us. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Let us know if you want us to adopt 911 as another of our shows. I'm on the fence about it. I feel like it's going to be like Denise. We were talking earlier, and she said it kind of looked like it was going to be a procedural, and I'm kind of like, yeah. We could, however, talk about the awesome things that Aisha and Angela do. So if you want us to recap those moments, just let us know, because I'm sure something awesome is going to happen with the two of them every time. So we have basically like 6 main people in our show, and they did not give names very well. So I Googled them, and I really hope that I'm correct. If I'm wrong, just mansplain it to me in the comments. But first off, we meet a white woman. Her name is Abby. And she kind of breaks down. She's like, everybody has an emergency. Everyone has that kind of thing that is a chink in their armor. Mine is I'm single. And I was like, all right. So... But she does have an aging mother who doesn't know. She's slowly deteriorating into dementia. Then we meet a white guy. He's at confession. He was an alcoholic trying to get his life together. Abby is the call operator for when you call 911, you talk to her. So the white guy we meet, his name is Bobby. He says everyone needs an escape, but his is now going to be confession and getting his life together. It used to be alcohol. He said some people are, drug addicts or sex addicts. And after he says sex addict, it switches over to a younger white man. His name is Evan. I think everyone's calling him Buck. And he's, chasing literally in a fire truck, chasing a woman. And they're doing it in the fire truck, and I'm like, ugh. And then you meet an Asian guy that they call Chimney, and he has a girlfriend that he met on a dating site that's for police or first responders, fire department, and she's kind of an adrenaline junkie, but she's kind of bored with him because he is pretty boring. Meet a black lady, Aisha Hines, Harriet Tubman, thank you, underground, #underground. But her name on this show is Henrietta. I think they call her like Mother Hen or something. Interesting enough, no backstory. So do we just move on? Then we meet, then they have, there's a baby in a wall, so they save the baby. And then you meet Angela Bassett. And her backstory. Why? And
I knew, what's crazy? As soon as they was fighting and he was like, as soon as he said, I'm just going to tell him, I was like, he gay.
Yep.
And so, I was like, I know that's where they're going with this. This has to be where they're going. And he comes out of the closet to his kids. And I'm like, now you knew you was gay before you had these 2 kids. Like, you know what? Let me stop. No, I can't even begin to understand the struggle that, you going through in your mind and in your life or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, don't do that. Don't ruin somebody's life.
Yeah, you're ruining your life, her life, and potentially your children's lives.
Everybody could have been happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could have went off and been happy. She could have found somebody else and been happy and had kids with somebody else. Exactly. Like, who wanted to
And I totally see where she's coming from. She's like, all these years you've been lying to me. You know, like you lied. Like, why'd you ask me to marry you? You know, like we had kids together. Like, you know, and he's like, you've always known in the back of your head. Like, why is that her fault? If she's wondering, she's like, I'm sorry that I assumed you weren't looking at other women just because you were being faithful and not because you weren't attracted. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would also assume.
Thank you.
And then he's like, oh, please don't pretend like you just weren't 37 and your, you know, maternal clock was going off. You want to have some babies before you got too old. Whose fault? Like, that's not anybody's fault. He didn't have to marry her. He didn't have to ask. His name on the show is Michael. So, like, Michael's on notice. I'm never going to be on his side. Like, I don't...
No, I agree. I can't get on his side. Like, I understand you were dealing with some things, but you don't do that. You don't just ruin folk lives.
Agreed. So, now that we've met everyone, what did you think about the situations? I kind of feel like it was Law and Order like pulled from the headlines. Somebody flushed a baby down the toilet. You know, like the robbers robbed the house, there was a child inside. You know what I mean?
I felt a couple of things with these episodes. One was Grey's Anatomy with that voiceover. Like, I totally had those vibes.
I feel that.
Like you said, Law and Order mixed with some cop show.
Like, now, you know, when you said the voiceover, I don't think it's so much Grey's Anatomy as it is Glee, with the Glee voiceover, because it's Ryan.
But I mean, I didn't get. I literally was like, "Oh, that's Meredith."
I mean, you sure it's not because it's a redheaded white woman talking?
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought about Glee too, but my first thought was like Grey's Anatomy.
No,
and it's probably because it's like, you know, ambulance involved. You know, they go into the hospital, even though they stop it there. But it's like, you know, I think that's why it was more so Grey's versus. But then I did think about Glee too. But you know.
Yeah. I probably only thought about Glee because it's a Ryan Murphy show. That's all. And another thing that I was also thinking about, speaking of Grey's Anatomy, they're in development of a show about the first responders that are on Grey's Anatomy. So I wonder how these two shows will be able to coexist. I feel like one of them's not going to make it. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm on the fence about recapping this show. I'll probably watch it, but I feel like it's just going to be kind of like situation of the week and everything gets tied up at the end of each episode. So I loved it. I should say I loved Angela Bassett.
Of course, that's why I watched. But yeah. I'm not going to say that. Well, no, I am going to say that. That's why I watched. Right. But I stuck around to see all the characters. I feel like they have a really good ensemble, and I think that it's going to be a good show. So as long as the writing stays good, you know.
Yes. Ryan Murphy shows fall apart like after like 5-6 episodes. So
right,
gotta be careful. If they're not locked in. Just saying.
So we shall see, you know, how this plays out. But like I said, I feel like the stories were interesting enough. Like I was invested, especially with the baby. I was like, oh my God.
That was so weird.
It was rough. But folk do stuff like that. It's like, it's crazy.
That's why it was kind of like the rip from the headlines kind of idea. It was interesting.
Okay, guys. Well, like we said, we are going to keep watching and we may recap. Just let us know in the comments below if you want us to, if you saw it, if you agree with what we said, or if you are on the fence or whatever. And until next week, thanks, guys, for watching and have a great night. Bye.